Over the last couple of weeks, we've done quite a bit on drawing and painting features. So I think the last one I did was drawing and painting lips. So I know quite a few of you want to put all that together and put it into a portrait. So rather than start with completely new portraits, these are, well, I actually brought them in as examples, but I thought it might be worth carrying them on rather than starting afresh. So these are both previous demos from years gone by. With the Lino printing, if you're Lino printing, I've got all the stuff here. So I thought I'd make it the last session for a couple of weeks on the Lino, and then I can bring it all back after Christmas if you want to carry on after Christmas. But I'll sort of leave the inks at Rayleigh for a couple of weeks.
We'll be able to start on the Lino printing fresh in January.
Yeah, you can start. Yeah, starting fresh in January. Yeah. It's just too much carrying it. I don't mind carrying it here, but it's the carrying it in Rayleigh.
I feel like I'll start fresh in January.
Yeah, that might be easier because it's like 2 or 3 journeys across 100 yards to the car park and back. It just gets too much. Whereas if I do it, leave it in Rayleigh, I can just actually leave it. I've got a little bit of storage in Rayleigh, so I can kind of leave it there for a couple of weeks. Whereas here, it's easy to get to the car. So we'll do some more in January. I've also started drafting out the programme for next year, and I've got a copy of that, and I'll email that to you all over the weekend. And if there's any other further suggestions or alterations, I can pop things in there or make changes. So it's all based on the ideas that all the groups come up with, plus a few ideas of my own. So I was thinking with these, I was just thinking about colour mixing. So with the mixing flesh tones, I've just been having a little play around here. I know from sort of past experience when I've been working more kind of painting from life really. A lot of the portraits I've done have just been, we've just had a model and I've just had a go at painting. Either it's been models over a couple of sessions or just quick drawing sessions where I've just put some paint down rather than pencil. I know that from experience, the colours I really like to use are things like cadmium yellow deep, so it's quite a nice orangey yellow. And then I use quite a bit of alizarin, which is a nice purpley red. And I usually have like cadmium red out and like a paler one, like cadmium yellow pale or lemon yellow as well. But I don't find I tend to use them a great deal. I've got yellow ochre out just because I've got yellow ochre. I know that's quite a popular colour for artists who paint portraits. I've not really kind of got my head around using it myself. And then in terms of the blues, ultramarine blue and cerulean blue, and then something like burnt umber, sort of nice reddy brown. So I tend to start off, if I'm trying to get a flesh tones mix, so I'm kind of thinking these sort of colours here, they're fine just to wash in some colour. If I want to actually develop that colour and get some nice shadows in there, I need some sort of deeper, almost like browny tones. And obviously we're going by the photographs and I don't know how accurate they are really, but that's all I've got, so I'll go with that. So what I did here was start with the orange, so using the red and the yellow to get rid of that. Then a little bit of white just to lighten that up. And then I've tried this one, I've added burnt umber, which gives me quite a reddy brown. This one I've added a little bit of ultramarine blue, which gets me this brown, which is sort of somewhere in between the two really. And I've also added a little bit of crimson. This one I tried this cerulean, but it just went green, so that's not really going to work. But I do find that if I'm making deeper tones, I instinctivly go for like the brown or the blue. And I just thought, well, I'll pop a couple of them out there just so you can see the differences really. But I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe something between the two might be good. Or what I haven't done, which I'm just thinking on my feet now, is I could have a bit of brown, a bit of this orange colour and a bit of brown and a bit of blue. Because these tones here, to me, are just, they're not that brown, they're a little bit cooler. So maybe something in between the two might get me a bit closer to it. I think that is going to work a little bit better. But yeah, as I say, just from experience, they're the colours I've found that I can mix most things with. So this kind of shadow in here, I think that will work quite nicely. And using just an older bristle brush, putting the paint on fairly thinly, I can just kind of scumble that over and create soft edges. So using a little bit of the underpainting underneath. As I come down here, I think it's just slightly redder. Go more with this mix and just sort of scumble some of that in. And the same around here really. So I had developed a little bit of the features, but I actually think I need a little bit of flesh tone around some of these areas before I go too far now. So just kind of work into there and work into the eyes too. Really. It's quite a smooth board, so it's fairly easy to get that sort of softer blend. And just white back, or I can bring some of the, so maybe get a lighter tone just in here, but mix whatever's on the brush with a lighter tone. That looks fairly good, tiny bit more red. And just a little bit of that into there, soften that out. It's quite interesting, the contrast really, this sort of very young skin to older skin. Quite a good fun to paint the two really, and to try and convey that sense of sort of youngness or oldness. Yeah, I think that's probably going to work. I can just soften that out with my fingers. Nice thing about obviously the water mixable oils is that I can keep blending. With acrylics, you could do something similar if you had a little bit of medium in with your paint, when you could perhaps paint a little bit medium down and then soften the colours into that. So that's how I'll go about it with acrylic. So, all good? Yeah, any questions? Or?
So I like the way the forest looks really good there, smooth and natural. The colours blends good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to stick to naturalistic colours. I just quite like painting what's there, really. But obviously, you can go any direction you want. Okay. Yep.